Hello, welcome to this first video that will explain the macros on this sheet. There are around 10 macros from A copy sheet to I navigation upload generator. As usual, to see this prompt, you'll start by pressing Alt F8, but to manage or edit, you'll not click run, but instead click edit. The description of the macros is normally here. You can see copy sheet and just explaining that this first macros copy sheet simply copies the content of any sheet. It therefore helps you overcome the challenge of a locked sheet where you are even unable to select or um, just edit. The the coding is pretty simple. Normally, all the codes are in the module 2, which is a standard module, and it's a public macros. For more details on that, I would refer you to a link. It's just below the content. It's very informative. You'll be able to understand the differences between worksheets and the standard modules and the other features of macros. So the first line normally tries and looks for whether you've moved to the actual budget tool. So it asks if the active workbook, in this particular case, it should be the budget, and this workbook, which in this case should be the FPV plus macros book. If they are the same, then it means you are not on the right sheet. If they are different, then it will know you're on the right book. The reason is because the macros sheet should always be in the background. So this is the check. If it fails, the GoTo statement skips to this error handler. Now, when I mean skip, normally programming is done sequentially from the first row to the second row to the third row to the fourth row. So this GoTo uniquely tells the coding to jump all this and go straight to the error code. The error code in this particular case will still do the same check as was done here. And if it finds that there was an error, it will give you this message that the macro should be in the background. So back to where we were. If there is no error or if there is no reason for the this message, we'll continue. The first thing, dim statements normally declare the value, and the string means it's a text. So it just assigns this thing of declaring assigns the values or the space in the system to store this kind of information. So it is already expecting current sheet name to be a text. Now, this is where the programming starts. Current sheet name. This is we're trying to save the name of the current sheet. So we are assigning it the name of the sheet. So if whatever sheet is open, if you go to a detail budget tool, if the sheet that is open is detail budget, then the current sheet name will be detail budget. Now, whenever you see a comma, an apostrophe, single apostrophe, and whatever is subsequent is interpreted to be a comment. It's not something. It's not part of the implementable code. So, sheets add will add a new sheet. By default, the sheet will be called sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 as per the usual Excel format. The third line, therefore, is trying to change the sheet, which is already called sheet 1 or sheet 2, and renaming it to unlocked budget. Then the last part of the preparation, because these 4 lines are actually preparing, this makes this line sheet current sheet name dot select. It tells us to go back to the sheet where we had started. So it's just to help the users not feel lost in the tool by the process. Now, the line where the work is actually is happening, all the hard work is on this line. This is just copying, and this is pasting. So this is a line that will copy paste. Why we have to create these macros is because macros can copy even a locked sheet. It can copy hidden values. It can copy in a more manner which is through security, which is locking the user from pressing or from clicking. The paste, as you can see, is assigning to the first cell of this unlocked budget sheet which you've created. Just as a side note, it is possible that the unlocked budget already exists. So if it generates an error, and looking at the coding, when you come to the error, it will not give you the reason why there's an error. So if I was to improve this, then we'd need to put a new error message and say unlocked budget. If unlocked budget already exists, then it should give an error and tell you, well, there are 2 possibilities. You could notify the user, or you could change the name of this to be unlocked budget 2 or unlocked budget 3. So with that, once we've reached here, the error handler, this is just a label. It doesn't have any programming meaning, and we've mentioned its use, so it will not have any effect. Then coming to this one, given that you had already succeeded, you had not found an error, this will also have no effect on the programming or the implementation of the code. So these two will have no use after this. So after you've read this and you've copied the budget, these macros will terminate. When you see end sub, normally it is the end of this sub A copy sheet. So this is the coding that is in place for this particular macros. Thank you.